What if I told you that you can turn almost any existing dummy light switch into a smart one without changing how it looks, without breaking the bank, and without replacing all your wiring? Yes, it is possible, and today I'm gonna teach you how. Let's inspect.
Hey you, great to meet you. I'm Michael. And before we dive in, a quick but very important note. If you decide to try any of these ideas which are shown in the video, start with the least important light in your home, and preferably with a switch that is not very visible. That way, if something doesn't go perfectly the first time, it won't affect your daily comfort and well-being. All right, with that out of the way, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a standard mechanical light switch, add a smart module behind it, and the switch will retain its physical functionality, but you would be also able to control it remotely from your smartphone, from automation schedules or voice assistants. Wiring practices vary from country to country, but there are two main scenarios. You can have both the live and the neutral inside the switch box, which gives you the most options, or you can have only live, which is very common, at least here in Europe, and most people give up when they realize there is no neutral wire. But the good news is that there's an easy way around this. That's exactly the setup I will focus on in this video.
In almost any lighting setup, you have power, a switch, and a bulb. There are two common approaches to make the bulb smart or to make the switch smart.
You can fully replace your old switch with a modern smart one. In most cases, it's going to be quieter, touch-based, fancy, and better in many ways. But maybe you live in a household with more traditional thinking people, or you like your existing switches as they are, or you just want something which is invisible. And in that case, we take the original switch. Behind it, we're going to add a smart module, and we're going to keep everything looking exactly the same.
As of today, there's only one protocol that works reliably with no neutral smart switches: Zigbee. It is similar in spirit to Thread, mesh-based, fast, reliable, and very easy to integrate into smart homes. However, many manufacturers try to lock you into their own ecosystems. If you want the easiest and the cheapest entry point, here's the starter pack, Tuya switches, Tuya hub, and the Tuya smartphone app, which, with most of its functions, is absolutely free of charge.
But if you are still watching at this point, you're probably not looking for just simple, you're looking for power and control. This is where Home Assistant comes in, and in my setup I use Zigbee2MQTT, which is fully local, no third-party cloud involved, free of charge. I'm going to link some excellent resources below if this is the path that you want to explore further, and I'm going to share more about my own setup toward the end of the video. And before installing anything physically, there's some prep work to be done. Your Zigbee setup needs to be ready. You must know how to add Zigbee devices, and you should be comfortable pairing new modules. And in our case, we're going to pair our modules after the installation. Let's get started.
Here's what you're gonna need for the installation: a no-neutral smart switch module, a phase tester, screwdrivers, pliers, possibly, a few short wires, optional knife, scissors, or a proper wire multi-tool. Have the right mindset, because the first install is always the hardest. For me, it took a couple of hours, but now it's typically around just 10 minutes per switch. Let's go ahead and do it. Turn the fuse off. Safety always comes first. Remove the cover of the switch carefully. Be gentle, because we will reuse it. Every switch model is different, so don't worry if yours looks different from mine. Carefully loosen everything. Once done, disconnect the wires, but before doing that, take a note of their positions. As a next step, we need to integrate the new smart switch. I usually pre-wire the two main connections to the smart module first, saves time and frustration later. The point here is to use your existing mechanical switch, keep it, and use it as a trigger. Therefore, the COM or the S1 area is going to be used for common input. These terminals tells the smart module when you physically toggle the switch on or off. If we take a closer look at this one-channel module, we also notice the L and the L1. L stands for live input, L1 is the live output. Some brands label them as L in and L out. Always double-check the wiring diagram. Just turn the fuse back on briefly, use the phase tester to confirm the live wire, then turn the fuse off again. And now we connect. At this point, you're already halfway done. Now the module is ready for pairing. Here I'm showing how to add it to Zigbee2MQTT, but the process is similar in other Zigbee setups. Two-way switches work in a very similar way, but wiring becomes a bit more complex, and that's a topic for a separate video.
Here's something important. These cheap TUYA modules, they're great not just because they're cheap, but because some custom firmwares exist for them. And with custom firmware, you can achieve faster response, you can achieve greater stability, and a lot more functions. By default, TUYA slows things down in order to compensate for cloud delays. You can remove the cloud, and suddenly these $6 modules outperform many premium switches, but only if you use Home Assistant and only if you have the patience to do that. Yes, the initial setup takes time, but after that, every new switch is going to cost just a few dollars, takes only a few minutes to install and set up, there are no recurring fees and no cloud dependency. I've got so many of these installed already, 0 failures so far. If wiring isn't your thing, you can hire an electrician for the physical installation, you can do the configuration yourself. Oh, and you can bring these into pairing mode either by pressing this tiny button here, or you can just make a few triggers after the installation and the switch goes automatically into pairing mode.
Let's keep on digging, and here we have to be honest, there are a few limitations. Toggle switches might sometimes be somewhat inconvenient because the physical position may not match the app state. Means that sometimes you need to have one extra move before it actually triggers if you have made a shut off via the app. If you implement this scenario with a push switch, then perfect, because no drawbacks I can think of. The multi-way switches require a bit more attention, and they generally have more complex wiring. But fact is that once you do the wiring and make everything smarter, the possibilities explode. Motion-based lighting, zones and groups, schedules, turn everything off scenes, automations, and much more you can achieve.
I live in a multi-floor house and couldn't cover everything with one Zigbee network, so I run 2 Zigbee2MQTT setups with about 20 to 30 devices each. For this, I've tried several smart home ecosystems. None came close. Home Assistant was kind of a game-changing, awakening experience. It's open source, runs 24/7. Yes, it does have a learning curve, and you're going to spend hours configuring things, at least at the beginning. But once it clicks, there's no going back. Simple example. This is the setup in my studio. It's a remote button that always stays on my desk. Single press, the LED goes off. Single press, goes back on. Double press, the main lights go on, and I can easily take them off. And if there's something you want to try and achieve and it doesn't work, you can reach out to the community because it is incredibly helpful. Everyone remembers how painful the beginning was because we've all been there. And sharing experience is kind of a best practice. It's kind of a standard. In the end, this is so easy to recommend because on a good day, price is somewhere between $6 and $7, ridiculously affordable. And if you want a completely smart switch instead, Aqara offers great value and reliability around $15 to $20. This is not a sponsored shout out, and I would still prefer to pair them with Home Assistant and not the Aqara Cloud. So I really hope this video was worth your time. If you have any questions or if you get stuck somewhere, ask below. If you need some help, I'll be there for you. And please, you be there for me too. Like the video, subscribe, share it with friends. Good luck with all your new installations, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!